Welcome to another riveting tale of stacking triggers, a TCG player's cautionary tale. I'm your host, Bill, with the other host, Dan. Dan, how are you doing?
Card games, nature's hell sticks. They'll fucking drive you into debt for life.
They'll cut you wide fucking open.
Trading cards, they'll cut you wide open. Man,
Yeah.
that is what this show needed. References to cautionary tales of swords.
Yeah. I don't know why I thought of it just then during the intro, but I did, and it felt good. It felt right. We got some stuff to talk about today, Dan. We have what do we have? We have some One Piece tourney. We have a Pioneer tourney. We have again every episode we got to them cheats, so that way you guys know what to look out for. If anything, people should listen because we cover them cheats.
Yes.
And lastly, we have the big new modern set MH3 dropping everywhere on Friday for us because we're recording early, but it would have been this past weekend for you listening.
Yeah.
So, Dan, let's get into it. Let's get into One Piece because you had your tournament before I had mine. How'd you do?
Yeah. So, it's a One Piece regional, and it's a bigger tournament. It's like a $30 entry, and there's was roughly 1,024 players. There might have been maxed out. I don't know for sure, but so I show up. And the entire week prior, like Tuesday, I go like 1-2. Oh no, that's not true. I severely misplay one of my game, like my first game, and I just drop because I'm just like I'm not like this is such a bad like. And the guy across from me is like really happy that he won. And it's like that's great that you're happy. You won because I misplayed. So like I don't want to diminish it, but it's like you celebrating isn't helping in any way, shape, or form. Like, good for you.
Yeah,
You won a
make
game.
me feel bad.
Yeah, good for you. You won a game. I'm just gonna drop and hang out. So the following day, I get some practice against our store's best player, and I think I win one whole game out of like 13 against him. And normally, like it started. Normally, it started with like me getting fucking smoked by him, but recently it's gotten a lot more even in our like practice games. Like I would probably say it's like 40-60 still in his favor, but like it's way closer than it used to be in terms of like
good.
our win percentage. Like I actually take games off of him now. But yeah, this was like one of those anomalies where it was like I couldn't fucking buy a win at all.
Damn.
And the one game I did win, it was on Gecko Moria, and previously I'd been playing Sakazuki for like 2 weeks ahead of time, and I had some reps on Gecko Moria, and I was just like trying to, we were trying to figure out this matchup, and I just couldn't figure it out from either side. Outside of like the game that I won, and it's because I hit like hand disruption like multiple times in the game. So I'm like, okay, we'll see. And then I'm so fucking tilted from the whole thing that I don't play for 2 days.
Yeah.
And then on Friday, I submit my deck, and I just submit my Gecko Moria list. Because I'm just like, this is the only deck I feel comfortable on. I probably, based off of my round 1 opponent, should have just played Black Yellow Luffy. Because I know, like, I also know what I'm doing with that. And I think I would have had a better time playing Black Yellow Luffy. So round 1 starts, and I'm playing against Red Purple Law, which is one of the best 3 decks in the format. And he just like I have no counter in hand basically the entire game. Like even mulliganing for it, I had no removal. It was one of those where I just had like nothing going, and I just get smoked. So
Jeez.
I'm just like, yeah, this sucks. And he's like, yeah, I just happened to draw this Rush character off the top. And I'm like, I don't care that you drew the Rush character. Like I don't care how you won this game. Like you just won the game.
Yeah.
Like I had no agency because I just couldn't play the game. So like
right
again, it's one of those things where it's like you didn't beat me, I didn't beat me. my deck beat me. Like that kind of thing happens. Whatever.
The pile shuffle beat me.
Yeah. Then I played against mono red ace in round 2, and they go ace swing, bin 4 events, and then go. So I have to block that, and then they go like, okay, here's unblockable Luffy for 11, and I'm like, yeah, I don't. I have like 8. I can get to 8. So like, if you
Damn.
just did that from the beginning, I would have been fine. Like I wouldn't have given a shit. So
That sucks.
yeah. So and then round 3, I play against Enel, and I could have won this game, but I was just so over I was going to drop no matter what after because they said multiple times like you have to play 3 rounds in order to get your participation. Fine, I'll report
Jeez.
my 3
Yeah.
rounds and then drop. Like I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like there's no point in me like trying to fight from O2 to get to like top whatever. The deck wasn't working no matter what. It never felt good, so I was just like fuck it, I don't care. I don't care. So yeah, I could have won the last game. I had to counter out of like the first swing instead of hoping there would be 1K encounter for the
Mm-hmm.
for my last 2. Oh no, it had to be 2K encounter for the last like either of the last 2, and it didn't work. My gamble failed, and I realized looking back on it that I should have just like countered out of that swing, let them swing into my characters, and then just killed their characters back on the following turn, and I would have been fine. Like I would have
Mm-hmm.
stabilized and like just because they were on like 4 cards in hand. Like there's just it's an L. Like maybe they could heal with a Yamato, but like there's just like next to no way they can beat me after that.
Yeah.
But again, I was dropping, so I didn't care. So that's my One Piece tournament. I hated it. I also hate everyone who signed up for it
Well.
because people just can't read fucking instructions. Like you were
Oh.
sent like 5 or 6 emails by Play TCG telling you here's exactly what you have to do, and people are like, I can't do the thing you want me to exactly to do. And it's like, okay, it's because you didn't add roles, so you can't see the announcement. So make sure you add your One Piece role so you can see the announcements. Hey, I didn't submit my deck list in time. Oh, that sucks. You were told that in every one of your emails, if you didn't submit by I think it was 8 p.m. Central Time. Yeah, 8 p.m. Central Time on Friday. And if
Mm-hmm.
you didn't submit your deck list by 8 p.m. on Central Friday, you were dropped from the tournament. No exceptions. And,
Yeah, it's 8 p.m. on
and
Central Time, right? So that's okay. So even for us, right, like in Eastern
that's
Time
9
Zone,
p.m.
where that's 9, and where in California that's 7.
6.
Oh, they're 2 hours ahead.
They're 3. Well, three ahead of us.
Central. No, yeah,
3 ahead of us,
they're
2 ahead of
3.
Central. So
Oh, okay, 2 ahead of Central. Yeah,
yeah,
math is hard.
but like the thing is you could submit your deck list as of Friday at 8 p.m. Central, but you
Mm-hmm.
could change it up until like 15 minutes before the event. Like you could make like last minute adjustments, which
Oh,
is what I did. Now,
yeah.
I had the opportunity, I had the ability to do that. Is that actually what I'm supposed to do? I don't know, but like on Friday, you like on the when you got the first email, you could have signed up on the TCG, the Play TCG app, and been like, "This is
Mm-hmm.
my deck list," and then the following, like on Saturday morning, been like, "Nope, not playing this. I'll play a completely different leader instead." Like you could have just done
Yeah.
that, and it'd been fine. But people were like, well, I can sign up in time. This is ridiculous. 6 p.m. I'm just getting off work at 6 p.m. on the West
Yeah,
Coast. And it's
but
like, you had all week. You had a week.
they could.
You had a
Yeah,
week
they
for
could have done
this.
it. They could have done it earlier. They also like that's the thing. Like you knew, like Tuesday, Wednesday, what you were playing.
Yeah, unless you're me, in which case you're like, I fucking hate
No,
the deck
that's
I'm playing right now.
well. That's but you still like you practiced it that day and you had like a really good idea. Like it's going to be this deck or another deck.
Yeah,
Like you had the deck lists probably written somewhere that you could have just submitted them.
they have to be submitted through the Play TCG app, and it is kind of a pain in the ass to build the deck list through that app. I will admit.
You can't just copy paste text.
No, not that I'm aware
Oh
of.
my
You might be able
god.
to, but I didn't dig deep, like too far deep
Yeah.
into it. I just wanted to get it like submitted so that way I didn't get dropped. And I was submitting it I submitted on Wednesday. I submitted the Sakazuki deck that I was going to play, and then
Yeah.
Friday like before actual submission time, I submitted a Gecko list, and then I think it was like 10. It was like 9 a.m. on Saturday. I made a couple changes to that list.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like the changes were good. I felt like the list was fine. It was just it fought against me. It's one of those scenarios where it's like I get terrible practice the week before, and then
Yeah.
hard lose. So
That's like the standard season where I feel like I over practiced. Like I over practiced to the point where it's like I was magic fatigued.
yeah, and I think that's where I got to too with Sakazuki. At
Yeah.
least I practiced too much, and I was trying too hard instead of like entering a flow state. Whenever I start with it, like whenever I play a new list, I kind of just enter a flow state where like the decisions I make are generally correct somehow. It's
Mm-hmm.
whenever I start thinking too hard about decisions, that's when everything goes to shit.
Yeah.
So actually, playing Black Yellow Luffy would have been correct because I was still in the flow state with that deck
Yeah.
at that
I
time.
can understand that.
I have since played a locals, and I am not in the flow state with that deck currently. So that's great.
Oh no.
Fortunately, I have red purple law built for OPO7, so I have to determine between red purple Luffy or red purple Luffy, black yellow Luffy, and red purple law as to which deck I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to play for the majority of the next format. It's one of the two. So yeah,
Gotcha.
that's one piece. I've played no Magic. I was prepping for the regional, and I played a
Yeah.
lot. Again, felt probably should not like. I was fine playing Wednesday. I should not have played for like 4 hours Wednesday, like after work. I just should not have. That was my mistake, and I think I know better now to not like get a couple hours of practice in. Like I know
Yeah.
you see like the pros, they'll like, oh, we played like 16 hours of card games today, and it's like,
That's also the pros.
yeah,
And like, but they're also playing with people like that are giving them feedback, being like, why did you just do that?
yeah, and
What was
believe
your
me,
thought there?
I was getting
Yeah.
similar feedback on Wednesday, but it's like I was playing a lot of locals. Like I wouldn't say a lot of what I was doing was constructive, like because it was just like, okay, I'll play the locals. Oh, I made a huge mistake. I don't want to play this game anymore. And
Mm-hmm.
then just getting shit stomped, and like neither of us having a reason why I'm getting shit stomped because it doesn't. There's no reason it should feel like I'm getting that badly shit
Yeah.
stomped.
Yeah. It's like you were in a state where you couldn't analyze it to see why you made the mistake you made, or
Yeah, and he was even like,
yeah.
"You'll figure it out. Like it'll click in your sleep." And I'm like, "No, it won't." I can already tell. Like I could tell like playing the games that I was learning nothing from this
Yeah.
interaction. The only thing that was happening was I was falling out of love with the Sakazuki list.
That sucks because it's like you built that. Like, is that the one that you were playing up here?
No, it was a
I
different
can't
list.
remember. Okay, yeah, you've got so many lists that you were running in prep for this that I don't know
I was running a lot of
what
things.
is what anymore.
I
Yeah,
was running
yeah.
I was running Gecko. I was running Sakazuki. I was running Black Yellow Luffy.
Hmm.
I was running Uta. I didn't run red purple. I wasn't going to play red purple law because I didn't have bond clays, and you need bond clays currently.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just one of those tournaments that like maybe hopefully one day I'll look back at and be like, I just prepped for this all wrong. But I have in theory a case tournament on the 28th or the 29th, whatever the Saturday is.
Hmm.
Following OPO7 release, and then there's a 3v3 tournament that I have to convince 2 other players to play in with me,
Oh man,
which will
and
be easy. Like
that's in person, right?
that's in person. These are both these are
Okay,
both local
yeah.
tournaments.
Oh,
So
nice. Okay.
yeah, I have to see who wants to actually play in that. I hope they are good players that I am able to convince, and I'm not the best player on the team because then we will lose.
and that you get mad at them like you do get mad at me sometimes.
In hockey, I was almost never mad at you.
No, that's true. In hockey, you weren't because I was also the goalie, but
You were
also had a few shutout games
Yes,
too.
that's true.
Yeah.
In between a game where you let up 10, and I like at one point it was like 8-3, and I'm like standing behind you, hugging you, just being like, "Sometimes you shit the bed, bro. Like sometimes this shit happens."
Oh man, I missed that. And after my chiropractic appointment today, I could probably never do that again.
Jesus. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I'm
So,
I'm I'm not taking care of my back.
yeah, that sounds right. All right. So, what about your magic?
Yeah, Pioneer RCQ at my local game store. 52% or no, $50 entry.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's
Uh,
like 20 people.
30.
30.
Wait, it was like it's either 37 or 27. It was a
Oh.
lot. We
Yeah.
had it was actually I think it was 37 because we were on the cusp of having to do 7 rounds. We had to do 6,
Right. And
but it was to the
30,
point where
32,
where breakers were. It was 37 total. Yeah,
32 is 6 rounds.
yeah. We were at
32,
37.
32 to 60, 32 to 63 is 6 rounds. 64 is
Okay.
where you go to 7.
Okay, then we weren't near the 7.
Right.
I don't know, but like somebody was saying, like we have enough people where it's like breakers can be a little more forgiving, where it's not like I don't know.
No, I don't agree with that. I
It's
think whoever
whatever.
told you that was lying.
I don't know. They also, I had also beaten them, so maybe they were trying to talk to themselves.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. So I ended up doing 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I did 4 of the 6 rounds. I was on the mono black discard list again. A lot of people from the tournament Dan, you and I went to were there
Yeah.
as well. Yeah. Some of the people who showed up ended up showing up too late. Certain personalities that were in the one that we were in.
Oh, interesting.
And they missed the start.
Did they just take the round 1 loss and then keep playing, or?
No, they didn't even get registered because they were too late.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyways, round 1, I faced against my mirror match in the previous tournament. He was no longer on mono black discard though.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah, he was on Niv to Light,
Gross.
which really sucked for me. I just didn't. It was hard because I could not figure out, like, I couldn't get a board state.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get enough out of his hand to make it matter, and it was just stinky. Um, Eventually, let's see here. Eventually, we were in game 2 after a decent game 1 where he just ended up winning.
Yeah.
And I think I had a choice, and it was a terrible choice. So it was turn 2. I had either thought seized or duressed him, and saw that he had 2 up the beanstalks in hand, and I had actually, and I had necromentia. I ended up deciding to remove the threat of the Niv Mizzet he had,
Yeah.
the one that doesn't have hexproof from monocolor.
Necromentia, it has to be in the graveyard.
No, it's anywhere. It's
Oh,
hand,
I would have
graveyard,
picked
or
Bring
whatever.
to Light.
Um, yeah, I didn't pick that. He actually didn't even cast it.
So the reason I picked Bring to Light is because it forces them instead to. It's like the reasoning you would take Summoner's Pact against Titan. It's forcing them to be strictly on Titan or on Dryad
I
in
see.
hand in order to actually like win or like seal the game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my reasoning behind it. Like,
Yeah.
you have to take away their win cons, like take away the bring to light, and then if you get a second one, then you can start picking
Yeah.
specific win cons that you want to take away.
Yeah, I feel in that moment I probably should have just taken the beanstalks. Reason because those beanstalks chained him into a whole bunch of shit
Well, yes.
that he was able to it was gas for him to go. After he was just never below 5 cards in hand after he got those beanstalks resolved.
Yeah.
The reason I had not and I hesitated on it was due to the fact it would have given him two zombies. And I had no removal in hand and I had nothing to put out as a blocker.
So you just took so he never cast Bring the
Yeah.
Light, which I guess is fine, but also I don't know.
Yeah, he cast Bring the Light the first game, but he didn't cast it at all the second game. He was just able to hard cast everything. Yeah, he didn't need to.
Yeah. The problem with the Niftalite deck is that the land base can be wonky at times.
Yeah.
Which they supplement by fixing with treasures and Sylvan Carroted.
Yeah, he didn't really even care. I just kept blowing his lands up, and he just had one of each basic land in there anyway.
Yeah, that sounds right.
He just didn't care. Because I was consistently, yep, let's blow these lands up. Let's do that. Nah, it didn't matter. It never mattered.
That makes sense.
So it was a pretty defeating round one. At one point, he had 38 life.
Yeah, you're not beating that.
Yeah, and I was down to 2, and he eventually got me. Game 2 is match 2 is where I really started to fall apart. It was against Mono Red Wizards, which I feel like I should have done a lot better against. I ended up winning game 1 because I had a Shieldred out and was just able to kind of keep him off of creatures.
Yeah, that deck doesn't beat Shieldred. It outside of Witchstalker Frenzy, it has to have Witchstalker immediately, or else the game's over.
Yeah, he didn't have it, and I did. It was fantastic. Games 2 and 3, I kept terrible hands. I should have I kept hands that would have been good against a slower deck because they had the Waste Knot, they had the discard, they had everything that Waste Knot wants, except against an aggro deck. Yeah. So I didn't dig for removal or anything. It was terrible on my part, and that's what was my downfall in matches 2 and 3, or games 2 and 3 of that match. Just didn't look.
Yeah.
Kept bad hands, and also it didn't help that game 3 he was able to kill my Shieldred.
Yeah,
because he had the Witch Stalkers. Yeah, so it is what it is. So on to game 3. I was against Black-White Humans.
Oh, by the way, this is where you should have dropped. I brought it up in our personal chat, but I was like, "Hey, with your breakers, you're not making it. There's just no way."
There was a slight chance that I could have made it, so I just kept going.
Sure.
I mean, I had the afternoon. My wife said she would watch the kids, so I was like, I'm going to play the Magic, even though I was feeling really poopy about my plays. This guy, I had a really rough time because I lost to the Mono Red Wizards deck, and I knew exactly where I fucked up. And then kind of going into a Humans aggro deck, it felt like a replay in my head.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, God damn it. And so game 1, I was in a very poopy mood and questioned everything intently because he had weird counters for things like Dauntless Bodyguard, right? He put a counter on another creature to represent that, but I was counting that in the counter math. It was a blue gem counter or whatever, something that you use in Pokemon.
Yeah.
Or whatever, an energy counter for Pokemon or something. But like I don't know, it just confused me because I was already fatigued and like not happy that I was going against aggro again. Game one, he beat me. He did his thing. He did it. Um, he had a little bit of graveyard recursion too, which like made it hard to pick on like things to remove.
Extraction specialist.
I think it's from OTJ, Outlaws of Thunder Junction. There's like a 1-drop black card that you can bring back for black and a color and a generic.
Interesting. I'll have to look this up.
Yeah, I believe it's a human also. It was interesting, but it just made me second guess a couple things. But yeah, lost round one terribly. Like he had 18 and I had 4.
Yeah.
Game two, though, I learned from my mistake with mono red. Got to my removal, I think on like my first mulligan, and was able to beat him 22-4 because I was able to resolve a Shieldred. Game.
So hold on, I found it. It's
Yeah.
Forsaken Miner. It's a black for a skeleton rogue. It can't block. Whenever you commit a crime, you may pay black. If you do, return Forsaken Miner from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Oh, it's
So
a crime.
what
so
fucking crimes are they committing?
I misunderstood it. I'm trying to think even what he had in there as like he had some target removal.
Yeah, he's in black, so
Yeah. He also
Right.
had thought seizes and stuff, so
it's not a humans deck. Sorry, that's just not.
yeah. Okay.
I
I thought it was humans because I saw like all the white cards were humans. Like you know, you had your
so he's playing Dauntless Bodyguard. Was he did he play Thalia and Adeline?
yeah. He played Thalia. He played Thalia's lieutenant. He played like I didn't see the Adeline, but like he had like the namesake cards in the deck.
Yeah,
So,
those
like,
are
I was-
humans cards. This
Yeah.
dog shit deck.
I don't know. It was just weird. Anyways, yeah. So round two, I resolved Shieldred, was able to smack him around pretty good. Round three, I don't know where. Oh yeah, we just got into a stalemate. But I was like, I had something on the board he didn't want to swing into. Because I brought in extra creatures and removal. And so like I just put creatures into play. Oh, it was the black 2-drop creature. It's like a 2/2 with menace. Opponents can't gain life.
Kalidas?
No, it's not Kalidas. It's from Dominaria. Hold on.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm not too familiar with the mono black deck. But yeah, I just went through OTJ again, and yeah, that's the only card that even remotely lines up with that. There are no good. There's not a single black human card that I would consider playing.
Okay, then like he must not have done that, and I was just thinking it was something that it wasn't. It is. Oh my god, this freaking list isn't running it. Apparently, no list is running it anymore. That's fantastic. Anyways, all it is, it's a creature. It prevents life from people from gaining life. People play it to fuck with Amalia. But yeah, so he was scared of that because I always left mana open to like buff it, so I could block and him not kill it.
Right.
Yeah. So, but like we were in this weird stalemate. I was able to get like 2 of those down, and then eventually I found my Shieldred and was able to just go back and forth 1 turn at a time, doing 2 damage to him.
I mean, yeah, Shieldred is the ultimate stalemate breaker.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So like that ended me at 30, him at 2 is when he decided to give up.
Yeah.
Let's see here. The final match, round 4, was against the new Mono Green Devotion, which I had little to no experience with on the Mono Black discard, especially since the Karn ban. So I had like no idea what I really needed to do.
Right.
Game 1, he had his pre-game action to take. So he was able to get his ley line of the guild pack down,
Okay.
and then a Nykthos, and like he was just able to just ramp his way into oblivion.
Yeah, you just get to 1,000,000 mana on turn 2.
Yep, he was able to do that. There was a point where I had effed up. I could have, and for some reason didn't. I didn't blow him up, his Nykthos up, in the turn that he killed me. I had a Field of Ruin on the battlefield, and I should have just blown up the field, or
Yes.
the Nykthos.
Yes.
But he also had on the battlefield the green one, the green creature land that lets him dump mana.
Lair of the Hydra.
Lair of the Hydra. He had that on the field as well, and it would have been able to attack. So I think I was like nervous because of that, but I was dumb because I also had a freaking Fatal Push in hand, so I could have just killed it anyway.
Correct. It's a 0. It's 0 mana.
Yep, it is 0
you
mana.
You use field to blow up Nykthos, and then you Fatal Push the thing.
Yeah, this was me just not thinking properly, and not thinking through my lines before I could have done anything. So yeah, that sucked. And then in game 2, I had a turn 3 Necromentia, and he did not have a Nykthos resolved yet. And so I named Nykthos. It unfortunately gave him 2/2/2 zombies because he was able, because he had 2 in hand, and I had nothing to deal with them for the longest time. And I ended up having to use a lot of my removal on them instead of the other threats.
Right.
Because, stuff didn't hit that other stuff. Like, some of my removal doesn't hit his bigger stuff. So he just eventually was able to just, like, resolve stuff and ramp it into... And just get his big things down. And just beat me to smithereens. And that's where I dropped. And I was pissed off and bought a collector booster. Or not a collector booster, an MH3 pre-release kit, and opened it, and I have a stamped Flare Denial now. Nice. I was going to do the MH3 pre-release because store owner, freaking smart dude. He lined up an MH3 pre-release to be at 4 p.m.
For those who dropped?
On the same day for those who dropped, yeah.
Yeah.
He also had a cool deal. He said $5 more, and you'll get pizza and drink on top of your pre-release. So
yeah,
which was nice because like I never think properly to bring food, and so
I just eat before I go to tournaments. So I don't even think about it.
I didn't get to do that. I was just not in the right headspace, unfortunately, for a tournament on Sunday. We had my wife had us do like breakfast with her sister or something, and it was just stressful trying to get to breakfast on time and then having to watch the clock to come back to make sure I got to the tournament on time.
Yeah, you just should not have done that. Like you got to be like, nah, this isn't the way.
I thought it was going to be okay, but it was not. Also, just like a lot of extra stuff with my kitchen renovation is going on. Was just not in a good headspace. Not an excuse for bad plays, just an excuse to maybe why I wasn't thinking as clearly.
Sure.
But Dan, let's move on back to some One Piece news. We have 2 pieces to cover here. We have
2 piece.
Ayo.
The 2 piece is real.
The 2 piece. We got a new cheater, as mentioned previously.
Yep. Let's do that first.
We could do the cheater first, and then also we just want to touch on the One Piece store regionals. But let's talk about this cheater.
All right. So over the weekend, like I said, there was the One Piece regional, and this player was playing in the One Piece regional. They were playing Red Purple Law, and my favorite inside joke, or like sort of inside joke with the One Piece community, is that anytime a player is using like a hidden card strat in order to cheat, people like the guy who was getting cards fed to him in front of the table, they were saying you got to look out for under D table because Monkey D Luffy, Trafalgar D Law, Monkey D Dragon. So like
The
D just
memes.
replaces the. So this guy apparently was hiding cards in his robes, like in his sleeves and on his robes.
What?
So of course people are now being like, you thought you had to watch out for under D table. Now you got to look out for under D robe.
Oh my god.
So yeah, so the implication behind this is actually fairly significant
Because this
because
was
the
an
player
in-person
who is
tournament, right?
cheating is a player who won 2 regionals back to back in, I believe, March. The player's name is
Oh,
Michael Curry. He won on Katakuri for both events, which means he went 20-0 over a 2-week stretch. And
oh no.
if you remember me talking about the mouthy Italians, they were always like, how the fuck is Katakuri winning in North America? It doesn't make any sense. Like the deck's just not that good. Why are NA players bad against Katakuri? Well, now we know why. It's because he was fucking cheating. So, yeah, pretty big implication on this because a lot of Michael's success has come from playing online. And rough estimates in pricing put him around $31,000.
Oh
Yeah,
my. This
which
is
includes like 2 serial
insane.
Shankses, plus multiple. Like he got ninth place at another one. So like he's won a significant amount of pricing, and has in theory been cheating the entire time. Now, of course,
That's crazy.
he might not be cheating. He might not have been cheating the whole time. He might have just cheated for the first time, last weekend. But
But it
now
puts the thought
everyone's
in
going to think
people's
about
head.
it and be like, well, maybe this guy was just fucking cheating the whole time. Maybe none of his results are legitimate.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's awful.
yeah. So yeah, interesting. It also makes sense as to why I couldn't make Katakuri work. I was like, why does this deck feel so fucking bad all the time? Like it just doesn't feel good. How is somebody like going 10-0 and like, my buddy at the store is just like, yeah, I mean, they're just a good player. And it's like, no, turns out and we look at
Nope,
each
they're
other,
just
we're
a
like,
good
turns out they're just a
cheater.
good cheater.
Just a good cheater, Dan.
Yeah. So that's the new latest One Piece thing. Ensure, if if somebody's got long sleeves, ask them to roll them up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
It's the oldest trick in the book.
crazy. It's nothing up my sleeve.
And
Well, there
nothing up my sleeve
was.
except for this kid killer that is going to deal 9 to you and kill you.
That's insanity.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's wow. Is has there been an official response from Bandai or the tournament runners?
I don't know if Bandai has Bandai'd this man.
Ayo.
I'm only aware. The only banning I'm aware of is the guy who account shared, and that's wild to me that he's the only one that I know for a fact has been banned. Because like, account sharing is against TOS,
Right.
and yeah, he probably should be banned for violating TOS. But his ban's a permanent ban, and people who
That's
cheat get like 6-12 months, and it's like, we're gonna
yeah, that's
perma ban a guy for account sharing, but not like the actual cheaters in the actual games.
right. Yeah, like it's account sharing. It's like, okay, cool. Yeah, somebody could have been playing as him. Who cares? It's not as bad as like knowingly deceiving other players.
Also, in fairness, so I think I talked about it the last episode, but the account sharing guy, what happened was he played an entire tournament under somebody else's like account, like Bandai, I think TCG number or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. I can't remember exactly what it's called. And then the guy who he was playing under tweets out, "Hey, just went like 9-1 as Whitebeard for this tournament. Big shout out to this guy. If
For let me
if you know, you
let me
know." And it's
borrow
like,
his can.
what the fuck? Like
Yeah.
that got dug up after the ban. I was like, oh my god, that's actually
Oh
crazy. They basically just told on themselves by saying that.
yeah. What the fuck?
But yeah, like the account sharer guy who did not cheat outside, like who did not cheat in game, like
Right.
never was
Yeah.
like. Here,
who's actually a good
one decks
player.
of cards that I could potentially need in this scenario. No,
Yeah,
but like we're not taking care of those guys. Like that's kind of insane to me.
yeah, I agree. That is insane, and people should like.
But
Yeah,
Bandai might have made an announcement or like have them on their banned list. I don't know for sure. I don't know where that's even stored, or if that's
yeah,
even
like
stored
I
publicly.
just didn't know if there was like a public announcement about it or something.
No,
Like,
I think Michael Curry has like nuked every one of his social medias. Like he had videos on like, here's how I won with Katakuri over the weekend. Let me look this up.
oh,
Michael Curry Katakuri.
Michael Curry, like, is his name fake? Because like the way that just all rhymes together.
Oh, that's gone. Yeah. Oh my God. Wait, is that him? Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Excuse me. I need to find something. Yeah. This is
What?
him.
I don't know what this
Sorry, I'm
is.
now loading up his Twitter. Yeah, he nuked his YouTube. So I'm trying to see if his Twitter will load.
Oh my lord.
Also, let me just see if somebody else's Twitter will load to see if it's just not my internet connection. It might just be my internet connection. But yeah, he
Yeah.
nuked his Twitter account or his YouTube account. That's crazy. Yeah, because I remember watching his first one, like both of his videos. Like, here's how I went 10-0 with Katakuri. Here's how I went 20-0 with Katakuri. You know, so I think I just lost connection to Twitter. That's fine.
Rip.
It's fine. But like, I do want to see if his Twitter is still around because like he's still okay, yeah. He hasn't posted since the regional, but in his bio it says One Piece TCG rank 1 Katakuri back to back winner March 24 and 30th regionals.
Yeah.
So like he's still bragging about it on his Twitter, which is kind of crazy. That you're just still bragging about it.
But
again, he might just have like deleted the app because he doesn't want to deal with the harassment because like he would get harassed for that shit.
Oh yes. Oh, that's insane that he got it caught up the sleeves.
Yeah, up D sleeves.
Up D sleeves.
So good.
Dan, we got one more piece of One Piece news before we roll into MH3 land. And that is the store regionals.
Yeah. So
they are a thing.
They're a thing.
That's not quite like the RCQ stuff with Magic, but they are hosted at stores.
Yeah. So they're very close to RCQs. I would actually call these like RCQ lights.
Mm-hmm.
So the big things with the store regionals. So we were kind of told back in like February that like, or it was leaked back in February that we were going to get store regionals. And we were like, okay, so what's going to be the criteria for this? Well, it turns out the criteria for it is like, you have to like cap your events. Like you have to hit event caps like for your locals, which by the way is 16 players. You have to hit a cap of 16 players. Right. You can't have big like, and it might be in that cap might grow depending on like what your status is with Bandai. Like, you know how we have WPN premiums for Wizard. Like there's something like that within Bandai, like Bandai Gold or Bronze or Silver, something like that. I don't know. I don't know the exact delineation, but
yeah.
So only 30 or slightly fewer stores applied for this and got accepted. They're like there's I know a bunch of stores that applied for this. Like there's like maybe 8 stores in my area that would have applied for this. Only one got it within my like actual area.
Okay.
There are I think it's 27, 28. We did some counting and we each had different numbers, but like I counted one time. I didn't care. But
oh yeah, there's like 37.
Oh, it's 37? Okay. So 37 stores. Mind you, there's 50 United States.
I'm just double checking our numbers here. Hold on.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm scrolling at the chat.
But like North Carolina has 3 stores. Texas had 3 stores. California had like 4 stores.
California
There's
had one store. California had one.
California only had one. Jesus Christ.
Yes.
But like whole swaths of the country, like all of New England, no stores. Like pretty much the entire Midwest, no stores. It's crazy. And
Oh, 31. Yeah, it was
31. Okay.
31. Sorry.
So, and then not to mention these regionals are capped at 64 players, meaning
Yeah.
that only 64 players will play, and a lottery system will take place for you to get into the event. So I've
Yeah.
applied to 4 regionals in total. 4. The 4 being the 3 in North Carolina and 1 that is in South Carolina. That's about 200 miles away. It's drivable, and if a few of us get into that one, we'll all like drive together.
Right. Yeah.
Let me give you the application numbers for each of them. One on the 6th, 281 players have applied. One on the 13th, 363 players applied. One on the 20th, 326 players applied. The one on the 27th, the one in South Carolina, is 218 players.
Jeez.
So if you think about this, for North Carolina, let's say probably 400 players in total have applied, maybe even 5.
Yeah.
So 64 times 3, that is 252. So roughly half of the people in North Carolina who applied, this is again a guess, but roughly half of the people in North Carolina who applied will get accepted into a regional. And there are people that likely will get accepted for 2 or more. I'm hoping one of those is me. So, like, this is a mess. This is a mess. And like, for a first rollout, when you see shit like Yu-Gi-Oh, which does it better, Magic, which does it infinitely better, where they like stores have multiple RCQs, like
yeah, we're up to multiple RCQs, but not only are we up to multiple RCQs, we're now up to multiple RCs.
Yes, that's true. We do have to talk about that too. But
we forgot about that.
We did forget about that, but I'm glad you remembered it. So it was like longer episode. Sorry, everybody. But like this whole store regional thing, like I was very excited about it originally, but I'm like, there's some tepidness because Bandai sometimes fucks up how they run their tournaments. So we'll see. And here we are. Bandai has fucked it up. And I want to bring up a point you said. Maybe this is just you being uneducated on the whole thing, but you were like, "Oh, they're killing the game by doing this."
Yes, I feel like they are killing the game.
I can tell you right now, they're not killing the game because of this. They're killing the game because they don't print enough cards.
This is assisting in killing the game.
This is I will agree with that. This is assisting. I don't think this is nearly that bad. But for instance, you're probably not gonna be able to see either of these cards that I'm pulling up currently because of internet issues. But so there are 2 cards in Red Purple Law, which will be one of the top 2 to 3 decks of next format. One card is Mr. 2 Bon Clay or Bon Carré.
Oh, I've seen that card.
This card is currently $40 and only printed in EBO 1, which only, as far as I'm aware, received 1 printing run. Which is why when we went to Guy on the Couch, your local game store, I was like, how much are these boxes? I will buy your boxes because you're pretty much guaranteed to get at least one of these per box.
Yeah.
So I wanted to just get them and get them out of the way. So I didn't but I am glad they were like, hey, I'm not gonna let you buy these because I have since completed my play set for under $120. So
yeah. He but also like he does that because like he wants the community to be able to just buy the pack or like, I don't know if there's such thing as a draft with One Piece, but
there is not with EBO 1 in particular. They do pre-release events for like main sets, like OPO 7 will have a pre-release event, but yeah, not with EBO 1. EBO 1, the card pool was too shallow. Like the rares, I had from having a box, I have a play set of every common, which And I did not have just a playset. I had 2 playsets of every common.
Oh, damn.
That's how shallow the card pool was. So,
Yeah.
and then there's this card. His name is Gordon. He has an effect that says you can bottom deck this card to give one of your opponent's characters minus 3k power until the end of turn. That's relevant because of the red purple law effect, which says if you minus 3 Dawn, you can bottom deck a card with 3k power or less on your opponent's side and then cheat out a 4 cost or higher. Or, I'm sorry, a 4 cost or lower.
Jeez.
Very strong effect. So you combo this with playing, like, cheating out a different card.
Mhm.
This card was printed in a promo pack very early in the game and is now up to $40. The availability on this card is like non-existent right now.
Yeah.
So just those 2 cards alone, that's $160 per playset. That is $320 for 8 cards. 8.
Dang. And people thought Magic decks were expensive.
Right. And like One Piece is supposed to be like cheaper. Like the Sakazuki deck is pretty cheap in comparison. Like the Sakazuki deck, I think min rarity is probably like $160. So do you want to buy the tier 1 deck Sakazuki, or do you want to buy 4 of these motherfuckers? You know?
Yeah.
So like that's what's killing the game is like you'll get people like me who buy like every card they need and then are just able to like kind of run around and like play whatever deck they want, and if they get good enough with red purple law then they can just stomp people with it because it's a great deck.
Jeez, yeah.
Like there just needs like parity, and of course they're doing a reprint set later this year. For us, we're going to have it spoiled for us because Japan is ahead of us.
Right.
And hopefully, I'm hoping that Gordon is one of the reprints. If he's not one of the reprints, I might lose my fucking mind. Because, like, he needs reprinted. Also, his artwork is fucking terrible. I hate it so much. But I play it because, like, can't complain about the artwork when the effect is so strong.
Yeah.
So, I say all that to say this. This is a bad first attempt at a store regional. This needed to be opened up more, and if you downgraded the pricing a little bit, because like the pricing for the store regional, if you win you get like a promotional katakuri that you can normally only get by like top 16ing an event or like a regional. I think it's top 16. I'd have to look, but like maybe just make that like a top 64 pudding, like Charlotte pudding instead. These cards don't mean anything to you. I'm just saying for like my sake, but like a lower tier prize where it's like, okay, so if you top 4 instead of getting this, or if you win instead of getting this like top 8 prize, you get this top 64 prize instead. Like that, like it just downscale the pricing a little bit and give us more events, because like this is ridiculous. Like they have to learn from this. Like they have to know going into next year that we need better regionals than this, because like regional season is only once a year. There is no like standard Pioneer Modern kind of rotation. There is just one format, and everyone plays on that
and they
format.
only do it one time, once a year.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish Magic was like that, but at the same time, it's like then nobody would get any practice in at all for anything, and it'd be bad.
And also, depending on the tournament structure, like if it was standard, I'd just be like, all right, see you guys next year.
Not playing this year.
See you next year. Like I do like the Magic format, but like it's because like it's so old. Like the game is so old. One Piece, we're in year 2. Like that you can't have a splinter format already. Although people are already talking about a Highlander format. I know people are crazy. People are
what like no. So like singleton.
Yes,
because like you're
yes, that's what I mean by
there can only be one. No, because I was just thinking because like there's like you already kind of have a commander thing, so it's like
it's something. I don't know. I've seen people talk about it. It's like I'd rather just shoot myself in the testicles a million times. Yeah.
You want to talk about MH3?
Yeah, let's talk about MH3. Let's also talk about the double regional
Yeah,
for
we can touch on that real quick. Yeah,
So,
that's just a quick little thing. Uh, Most of you probably already know, but we're just going to touch on it in case you don't. Star City Games, right? They're the ones that took over
yep,
for the RCs from DreamHack.
already multiple
Uh,
W's with this. Like this is
Already,
far better than I could have ever imagined.
yeah, I'm actually really excited for this announcement. But basically, right, so they announced earlier in the year when they took over that there were going to stores were going to be allowed to have multiple RCQs per season. And people were very confused on how that was going to work with just the number of people that are going to be entered and everything. Well, we've got a fix kind of for that. They're going to have multiple RCs.
For the US.
So for the US, at least, yes, because SCG is running the US tournament circuit. I don't know anything about any other country's tournament circuits. Sorry.
I think
I know.
Europe it's like Europe got their own a new cuz it used to be what was it, LMS or LEC,
I
something like
don't
that.
I don't know.
And now it's
I
somebody
don't.
else. It might be No More Heroes.
Listen, all I know is the US team is winning at Crackle or
Cricket.
whatever paddleboard baseball is.
Cricket. And they
I
got
know.
smoked by India apparently, so they're not winning
Oh,
at that
did we
anymore.
did we just get smoked by India? I don't know.
Yeah.
We said fuck you, Pakistan.
We did. That's true.
That's what TikTok tells me anyway.
Yeah. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen,
What the fuck's a kilometer?
what the fuck is a kilometer? That's a great one.
Uh,
All right, continue.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we're doing multiple RCs.
Yep.
For the increased number of RCQs. The initial reading I had of it was that your win will get you into the first RCQ or RC for the your first win will get you into the first RC for the season.
So based off of what I read or how I
Okay.
interpreted it, and I would love for Star City to come out and talk about it.
Explain the rules.
Yeah, explain the rules. So you can kind of choose which RC you want to be qualified for.
Oh, you do get to choose. Okay.
That's how I interpret it. I'm trying to find the article. Here it is. All right. So season 3, round 2. More info coming soon. Here's the skinny. Players who earn multiple qualifications in a round may participate in both regional championship events. Qualified players may continue to participate in RCQ events regardless of how many qualifications they have earned. Invites do not pass down. Earning more than 2 qualifications has no additional benefits. Players who qualify for the United States Regional Championships will be automatically pre-registered for the first RC of the round on melee.gg once the organizer of the event where they qualified submits their information. Players who qualify for don't care about that. Sorry. At the conclusion of the first regional championship of the round, the following players will be pre-registered for the second regional championship of the round. Qualified players that did not participate in the first regional championship of the round, players who earned 2 qualifications in the round. So I don't know how you choose. Like, I don't know if you can email.
Yeah. That doesn't. It's not
I
saying
don't want to
like
take part in the first one. I want to do the second one.
Yeah.
I would assume it's something like that, or maybe you don't even or you drop from the event. I don't know. There has to be some system. They have not said what it is yet.
Yeah. It's not clear yet because this was what announced a week or 2 ago. I think it was just last week.
I posted it to you on June 4th. Yeah, so last week.
Yeah, it was just last week. So still a lot to know, but it's also very good in my opinion that they're doing this because that means awesome. Dan, you could have gone maybe if they would have done this originally with the rollout and you had to you had that emergency with the dog, you could have maybe gone to the second one instead.
Yeah.
Because you hadn't submitted a deck list or something, right?
Yeah.
It's not like you were just drop dodging to dodge for some reason.
Yeah.
Right?
I absolutely wanted to go. I believe I already had booked my flight by that point. I hadn't booked a hotel.
Uh huh.
But yeah, it's something I wish that was around last year. I mean, I lament it. It's the big thing I bring up like every week. I wish I had gone to that RC. Of course, like I'm happy with my decision, but it's just like a what if, what if I
Yeah,
got hot that day?
but
And
that was the RC where Amelia combo came out.
that's true. I said it also like immediately after that. I was like, I was so unprepared for this RC in the first place. I would never
Yeah,
like. I would have been on humans, and I would have gotten fucking smoked.
you would have been rocked. Yeah,
But
it
who
would have been
knows?
rough.
I might have just dodged Amalia all day and then been fine. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, I like this change. This is a good change. It makes more sense as to why the qualifications don't pass down and why people can qual multiple times. Like we were
yeah.
just like originally we were just like this is just me grinders being like, hey, I qualified 9 times this time.
Nine
This time.
times.
How about you guys?
Ugh, yeah. But ultimately, it's. I think it's for the best.
Yes, I agree. This is for the best. I do like the modality or being like, yeah, I don't like. Oh, I don't want to go to like. They haven't revealed locations, but like that's like let's say it's like New York City and Los Angeles, and somebody who lives in Los Angeles is like, well, I don't want to fucking travel to New York City. I'll go to the one in Los
Yeah,
Angeles. You know?
yeah. Let me just stay here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me just stay here. Like giving people options, will I think will generally ultimately lead to better play because people aren't just like trying to sardine themselves into hotel rooms and with their buddies and all this shit.
yeah, yeah. I feel like it's going to help
Yeah.
overall. But yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go on to modern.
The format we really care about.
Do you know what effect modern has had? It has increased the price of a card that, as of the end of last month, was $2.80.
Ooh, what was it?
It increased that card price to $36.50.
Jesus Christ, what card is it? Tell me.
Shuko.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is. That's so. Just a little financial tidbit there. That's insane.
Yeah. Well, also it's like it's a legacy combo too. Like it's still like a pretty good legacy combo with
Yeah,
Nadu.
it's a legacy combo that was in Syphilid Breakfast, but Syphilid Breakfast was also like very bad.
Yeah, but Nadu's better.
But Nadu up in modern is better.
Yeah.
Granted, I get smoked by Syphilid Breakfast a lot too. Speaking of Nadu, it's a Simic deck. We have not had a Simic deck in a while in modern.
I thought it was a Bant deck.
There's a Simic version and a Bant version from
Okay.
today. Yeah, like I don't know, like somebody just like cut all the white cards and put in a Thoracle. So that's cool. I'm seeing some dredge decks are coming out now. Also getting 5-0s. Like, I'm getting excited because it's like, ooh, the format it's learning.
Is learning.
Uh,
Yeah, we have I see a Merfolk list, Titan still around, Scam still around.
but did you see there's a mono white Tron?
Ooh, Bob 49. What have you wrought on this format? Solitude
um,
Karn. I feel like I've seen this.
yeah. What it gains though is Razor Grass Ambush,
Yep.
and oh no, not Decree. Yeah, that's the big one. It's a MDFC that it's an instant 1 and a white, deals 3 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. But you can shock it for a mana or for 3 life to bring it in.
Oh man. So they're playing the card Monumental Henge, which says it
Oh,
enters the battlefield tapped unless you control planes. Tap, add a white. 2 white, and tap this card. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a historic card from among them, put it in your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. I was kind of hoping they'd be playing Saga, like Urza Saga, with that. Could
Nope.
you imagine fetching up Urza? Now, of course, it's like 5 mana, so like at that point, getting Urza Saga is probably terrible.
Yeah.
But like, that's something.
Yeah. Also, anytime I've seen Karn the Great Creator in a deck, I'm like, okay, you're not a real deck. In my opinion, if you have to use Karn the Great Creator to get a win con or to get a hate piece, you're not a fucking real deck.
Spicy.
Fuck that card.
Wait, the One Rings. Wait, how much? How much is the One Ring now?
It's like $60, right?
Jesus,
Or is it more?
Jones.
$77.
The bundle foil is $78.
Oh, buddy.
Remember when I remember buying my bundle. Like I bought 4 bundles for I think $50.
I should have done the same, Dan.
I bought 4 bundles for $50 just to get the One Ring, and I pulled like an Orcish Bowman out of that and like a bunch of other stuff. But like the bundles more than paid for themselves because of the One Ring.
At this point, yeah.
And now they've definitely paid for themselves. Like $200 for $300 something worth of card.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the One Ring is like blown out of control. But yeah, also Solitude's being $25 a pop for the basic printing, by the way.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of always been expensive. So I'm not
that's just like the rest of the deck is pretty cheap though.
Yeah, it's the price for that Tron deck is just the One Ring.
Ring.
Actually, Bill, I will say this: Solitude being $25 a pop is the lowest it's been since the beginning of the year. In January, it was around $40.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I wonder if people were selling off expecting MH3 to like just invalidate those cards.
Well, and in fairness, it kind of does a little bit too because you have the special guests for MH3, and then you have the retro printing for Solitude.
That's true. That's true. And Vexing Bubble kind of makes them harder to cast, but
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Other stuff going on here. Let's see here.
Oh, I see a GES deck.
What?
Grixis Death Shadow.
Let's look at the Grixis Death Shadow. Let's see what they've got
looks like
going.
Grixis Death Shadow. I mean, this is...
Yeah, I know there's some people who are probably still going to be trying to push through their original builds, see how they stack up.
Orcish Bomanzo.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
There's like no... I think I saw one card that was new. Yeah, but otherwise, like... Oh, no, there's not a new card in this list. That said, interested in this. Because, like... I don't have a lot of cards from MH3 yet, so...
Yeah. So Dimir Scam got a big upgrade.
Oh, it sure did.
Yeah, because there's like this Geralf's Messenger thing which does stuff. There's the Sitaros, which I have 3 of at this point now. Psychic Frog is in there. Bunch of good stuff. And then the Nightmare card that is supposed to be a riff of Recurring Nightmare. What else do they got here? They're running the Tower of Phyrexia.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's probably like a 1 or 2 of in scam because it's scam. Like you can only...
okay. So I will say, like, I heard not only Spike say it, but Thraben you say it. Like, when you're testing out new sets and especially things like MH3 that are really high powered.
Oh, you play like
you're going to
4.
You're going to run the 4 copies, whether that's the right choice or not.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Did you know they printed a legendary creature into Pauper?
Common? Yeah. I did.
Interesting.
I saw that. I don't know how good it is.
It doesn't look very. It's 6 mana. It doesn't look very good.
Yeah. There's also a mono taxes. Mono weight taxes came out.
I saw that.
There's a Boros deck of some kind that's not burn.
I'll tell you what I'm really excited about is Affinity. Basically, the exact
I have
build
seen very
I said,
little Affinity.
was gonna happen. Mengu did it. Mengu made the build, and it's
Yeah.
pretty damn close. Now, of course, like he did a very budget version of it because
Hmm.
of uh like Ugin's Labyrinth being $60 currently.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
I
he
think
was
that's going to go
using
down.
Kozilek's Unsealing as a payoff for all of your 7 drops. And that man went double Kozilek's Unsealing into Thought Monitor to draw 8 against his opponent's non-Orcish Bowmaster deck.
Oh
It was
no.
Spike, and then he draws into 2 Frogmere Enforcers, plays those, draws 12 more cards.
Is this the one where Spike has like the view of both streams at the same time?
Yes, a little
Yeah,
bit. I
that's
think
really
so.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's also an Eldrazi Tron deck, it looks like.
I'm unshocked.
We I am not shocked on that either.
Oh, so one of my special guest cards I got was this Full Art Fury.
Nice. Is it textured?
No, just regular art. I also
Okay.
did get a Ruby Medallion in case I want
I
to start
I also
building
got
towards
one.
Ruby Storm. But I did get Sink into Stupor for Murktide, so I'm very happy about that. That's going immediately into Murktide and then replacing Otawara.
Nice. Yeah, some of my pulls that I thought were really fun and good.
Oh, I also pulled Vexing Bobble, which I'm happy about.
Nice. I only somehow have one. I think two of my biggest pulls were Ulamog and Emrakul
Yep,
because
those are big ones.
I pulled the foil retro Emrakul and the full art Ulamog, both of which are close to 100. Last
Oh,
I
I lied.
checked.
I'm not taking out Otawara. I'm taking out Brazen Borrower for Sink into
Oh,
Stupor.
nice. I think.
I think it's better.
Yeah.
It's
But yeah,
return target
I'm.
permanent or target spell to owner's hand. So like I think it's
Yeah,
when
but you don't
Titan
have a
when
body.
Titan goes like, oh, I'm gonna make all my mana, have no cards left in hand except for this Titan, play Titan, and I just go, okay, Sink into Stupor, return it to your hand, so now you can't possibly play this Titan again ever.
Yeah. Oh, sadly, my Ulamog has dropped significantly in price.
Yikes.
It so because mine's not foil, it was around the time I pulled it 114. It's now down to 88.
How dreadful.
How dreadful. The foil one though has just gone up to
I believe that.
144. Yeah. And then where is the Emmercool? I just want to see how much Emmercool is. Emrakul for World a new retro frame foil 112.
Damn, look at you. Yeah,
Look at me.
I need my Murktide cards like invert polarity. I desperately need invert polarity. I'm still
I
off
have one.
I am still off the Tamio train. I still do not believe the hype for this card at all.
I don't either. Like even in my like so I did two drafts last night on MTGO
Oh, that should be a house of
and
draft.
there's a white common that just says you can't attack or block with this card. And it's a
Oh.
two drop.
Passive like a 1 mana
Yeah,
pacifism?
yeah.
Damn.
No, it's like no, it's a 2 mana pacifism, but they play their Tameo on turn one.
Yeah. So yeah, I just remain unsold on that card. It's just like, yeah, well,
Yeah,
whenever you inevitably flood out, and it's like, okay, what about the games where you're stuck on 2 lands? How good
yeah,
is Tameo then? Let's talk about Tameo in that spot, huh?
yeah. I pulled, by the way, also I pulled 3/6. The creature 6.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know.
I thought you were counting up
Yes.
how many fetch lands you've pulled.
No, I pulled the three. I pulled three of the cards 6 in one collector booster box. Two in a green. Reach whenever 6 attacks. Mill 3 cards. You may put a land card from among them into your hand. As long as it's your turn, non-land permanent cards in your graveyard have retrace.
Yeah. So
Um,
yeah, that sounds cool.
So I'm running for tomorrow that, and also from the new set, White Orchid Phantom, which is white Spirit Knight. Flying first strike. Whenever it enters the battlefield, destroy up to one target non-basic land. Its controller may search its library for a basic land, put it in the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. 2/2. And also a playset of Ghost Quarters. I'm just going to be green white land destruction tomorrow,
Yeah, not bad.
and hopefully everybody gets mad and just says "fuck you, Bill."
I mean, they already say that. But
Yeah,
so in terms of like decks that seem to be on the rise, Merfolk, like I said, like I see a couple Merfolk lists topping here.
yep.
There's the uh, energy, the Ruby Storm deck with DRC Raw, and then like uh,
Any of the Nadu decks.
is there really no really? There's no Underworld Breach in this deck?
No, I don't think they need it anymore.
Oh, because they have Past in Flames. Who cares?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
So yeah, you play the Past in Flames and you just like dump your entire fucking hand.
yep,
Okay, that makes
yep.
sense. But yeah, like Energy Storm, like that deck seems kind of insane, and I'm concerned for ever beating it.
Yeah. Yeah, Nadu is proving to be really strong right now. A playset of Nadu is $113.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Very interesting. There.
Well, yeah, like it's $100 something for that, and then $100 something for a playset of Shugos.
146 for a playset of Shuko.
Yeah, that's well, yeah.
And then of course they're running the One Ring, right? So like there's another
Oh, they're running the
310.
One Ring too. That's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah. Like why do you need to be running the One Ring?
Why not?
Like
Is
okay,
Zoo really that
so
cheap
I
now?
question certain decks too if they're running the One Ring. Certain decks it makes sense to me,
Yeah.
but uh, like a mono black deck. Okay, that makes sense. You get Shielder down. That's like a way for you to stay
Yeah,
alive.
gain incremental infinite life.
Again, but with Tron, like it's just to find your fucking Karn, so you can go get your fucking win con.
It's mainly yeah, you're right because you're looking for your win con. But like you in Karn generally are running out of cards at some point, and you need to add back a card advantage engine, and that is your best way to add back a
They
card
do.
advantage engine.
Yeah, I get that. It's to me, it's better understood in that deck, but like the mono black decks that run Karn and the One Ring and Shieldred, I'm like, what? You don't know.
No, it's great.
No, stop
That's
this.
a great 12 card package right there.
It just go like it just seems like the One Ring and Karn go into so many fucking decks. What's that face for?
I'm seeing Lelia the Blade Reforged in a scam deck right now. In one of the scam decks on the
What?
5-0 list. That's wild.
Where is
It's
this?
one of the scam decks. It's by J God, I think.
Which
Or
date?
no, J Celzo.
J Celzo.
Wait, no fucking way.
Which date, please?
The one you shared on.
Oh, okay.
Wait, Lelia the Blade Reforged was $25 at one point.
It was.
That's crazy.
So wait, it's a.
Oh, or was it because it's this particular treatment? It might be because it's this particular treatment.
It's probably that particular treatment.
Yep. Remember
Okay,
when
I
we were
found it.
so hyped
Why
about
is
Lelia,
it?
and then it turns out Lelia doesn't do anything?
I think it could still do something. I think there's
It
just
could still do
other
something.
I think there's more interesting things to try right now.
Yes, I also agree.
It's like I'm not saying it's bad. I think there's just more interesting things.
Yeah. And Rakdos scam. It looks mostly the
Rakdos
same.
scan with Lelia. Oh my god.
And there are people. Okay, so there are some people who are playing Rakdos scam that have added nothing, and it's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here, boss?
Yeah, yeah, and those people are just trying to farm off of people not knowing what to do with the new format. So, like, okay, I get it.
That's me. That sounds like exactly what I would do.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, which is fine. Like, that's fine. You're allowed to do
This
that.
game is great
It
early in formats. It's truly great where people have
it
no idea what they're
is.
doing and you have no idea what they're doing, but you also get hand advantage by seeing what they're doing.
Yeah. Exactly. Although, like the Lelia, I'm like confused here. Like, how does this? So whenever it attacks, exile the top. Oh, it's just card advantage for you.
Right, it's just
Exactly.
card
Okay.
advantage.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
Yeah. I
like
got it
it
now.
triggers off of Ragavan exiling. Oh, actually, does it work off of Ragavan?
Whenever one or more from your library.
Okay, so yeah, it does not work off of Ragavan.
Your library or graveyard. Now it'll work if an opposing Ragavan hits you.
That's true.
Yeah. So there's
Yeah, I
that.
guess it's
Or
just a card advantage tool in a creature. Oh, they're running three of that over three. Oh, that's horrendous.
yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
They're running it
here,
over Fable. That's horrendous. Oh, that's so
Yeah,
bad.
because well, I don't know. Fable always feels
This
bad to me.
dies so easily. Like Lily is so easy to kill. Like in
does, yeah.
the Ruby Storm deck, you just go like, okay, Galvanic Discharge for 2 energy. Like,
And then I have an energy left over for
and I have
later.
energy left
Yeah.
over. Like, yeah, that's I hate that. I
believe I have my playset of Discharge already.
I only have one, but it's whatever. I don't think I'm going to be actually playing it.
All right, we're definitely rambling at this point. So if you've made
It's
it
fine.
this far,
Modern looks interesting. I think it looks fun. I can't wait to get back to be able to play Modern. I just wish that like because I have like a bunch of Affinity cards just sitting in my TCG player box waiting for the set to officially go live, and then I will buy them because
yeah,
prices tank like 50% immediately after like full release weekend because like people like us can't sell their cards. So the
no,
second the market floods, like that's when prices are good to go. So yeah, I'll be likely playing Affinity early in the format because the budget Affinity deck that Mengu was playing looked super fun.
yeah, I might play that as cards become more available locally. I'm also just dicking around, kind of like with what I opened
That's fair.
and the couple pickups I got today because I can.
Right.
Also, Containment Priest. I don't know if it's good or not, but we'll see. But yeah, that's it. That's the show. That's the show this week. Definitely going to be talking probably more Modern next week. Not next week, but like
Next episode.
Next episode. If you're a father out there, happy Father's Day. Like yesterday.
Yeah.
And keep calm and spike on.